It seems like there's a thing like that with people who are driven to say something got me, something got the best of me, no matter what I did, whether I didn't have the technology or it's the way I thought about it. But now I've got the answer. It has to have some satisfaction to you that you at least know that.
Oh yeah, I mean it's built into coaching for sure. Like, I find now like most people they think the swing is the problem. The swing's not the problem. It's their misconception of the problem, like not truly understanding it, whether their vision's not calibrated right or they don't understand, what creates a start direction or what creates a curvature, and they're just, they're lost. Everything is a trial and error experiment without actually understanding what is their good.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like I was talking with a fairly skilled professional baseball player today who also golfs. And he's like, all right, no, yeah, this is the off season. I'm coming. I'm going to come. And I don't think I need to change my swing though. I'm like, you almost certainly don't. He's like, okay, good. I'm like, yeah, odds are like when you miss it, you just don't understand what happens that causes that miss, which means then you don't truly know how to fix it. And even when you get it right, I don't know what I did right. And when I get it wrong, I don't know what was wrong about it. And like, what a horrible way to go through life in anything.
Yeah, you're throwing darts in the dark,
Yeah, pretty much.
and you're going to wear out your body trying to figure it out. I can attest to that.
Yeah.
I got tagged as almost being anti-tech when TrackMan was coming out, and what 15 some years ago when it was really starting to make a push. And I said, I'm not anti-tech at all. What I am anti is that the industry, meaning young assistants or coaches, are going to be pushed to use it as a default as opposed to learning the things that will contribute to what somebody's doing and use it as gathering information. And
Yep.
even talking to Scott Cox, and he uses a lot of Hack Motion. He's their ambassador and everything else. And I think in one of our episodes when he was on, he said he will use it, whatever tech he's using at the time, he'll use it to check where, get like a baseline measurement of where that person is in that lesson, and then he'll use his expertise and his tools at his disposal from years of doing it, and then he'll use the technology to check after they've had some time to work on it during the lesson to see what advancements have been made, and then he can show that to the person. So I think as far as young coaches, they will gravitate, which was my concern many years ago, is they young coaches will gravitate towards simply using tech, and they won't learn the things that will allow them to make students have a change. They'll just simply say you need to swing more out to in because you're too much into out. Well, no
Yeah.
shit.
How? Yeah.
Yeah, how?
Yeah. Yeah. It reminds me, he was a young kid at the time working for me. Was a pretty good young teacher, good player, James Skripek. James, I wonder if you remember this one. So, Um, he got a job interview for his first director of instruction position. I think it was at Deer Ridge, a nice private club in like Kitchener or something, an hour and a bit from town. He came up to me all excited. He's like, Liam, I got, I'm down to the final interview. I got to give a golf lesson to the GM and the director of golf. Can I borrow one of the TrackMan? I'm like, no. And the look on his face was like, oh my God, well, how do I give a lesson without but I've given every lesson with this, and of course, like he ended up a good teacher. He knows the shit. He got the job and he's, done very well for himself, still a good player and all that kind of stuff. But, um, yeah, it was interesting. I think there is a generation out there that is, just coached to a number type
Mm-hmm.
thing. Um, and certain times there's a time and a place for that. I think that there is definitely a time and a place to set up a launch monitor and only show the person, one single number and let them go dig it out the dirt and not give them any direction and, fail and try again and solve problems and build strategies. But yeah, I think, I'm trying to remember, I can't remember McCormick put it a great way one time. I think he said he wanted to be, I don't know, data informed and not necessarily be too data driven,
Mm-hmm.
which I thought was kind of an interesting way to put it. I find myself telling people like, look, the technology doesn't tell you what to do. It only tells you what happened. You still got to
Yeah,
coach. You're just going to use technology to prove to people that you actually know what they're doing. And even though that felt weird, it is what they want.
yeah, absolutely. It quantifies. I think quantifiable is the thing that the word
Yep.
that I've used, that has been used quite a bit to describe the benefit to the student. Because again, if we go back to the very, very successful people, they're going to say, well, how do you know? You know, a
Yep.
head of a Fortune 50 company is going to have metrics that they're basing decisions on because you're moving a whole ship. It's not easy to
Yep.
move a whole ship. And if you're going to tell them to do something, okay, I'll do this. I'll listen, but you got to tell me why.
Yeah. I love to joke around saying like it's nice to be in a day and age where we don't ever have to say trust me. Yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah.
You get